Shalom, everyone. I just wanted to come on today. I haven't been on very much lately. I see that there's many people who have left some comments, and I thank you for those. I definitely only take a little bit of time to really go online. Just have so much going on in life, and I'm really looking just for positive energy and comments, and people who continue to ask, why were your kids taken? This question is something that we should all be asking. Why are kids being taken? Unless there is true abuse and neglect occurring, and a true court of record being used, meaning due process of law is given in a true court of record before a jury of one's peers, then there's no justice being served whatsoever. And there are tons of parents who are being stripped of their children. I ran into someone yesterday, a parent who was completely beside herself because she couldn't find her 28-year-old daughter. And I asked her, she goes, "I can't find my daughter. Have you seen her?" And I asked, "Well, how old?" She said 28. And she said, "I know something's wrong. I know something's wrong." And so anyways, we, tried to comfort her and helped her a little bit with what she was asking. And she came back probably an hour later, and she said, "Thank you so much. I'm so sorry. I found my daughter. And I know whether, it's just a mother," she said. "It's a mother's worst fear to not know where their child is and to lose them, whether they're 2, whether they're 13, whether they're 28. And she said, "Thank you so much." And I thought, it's okay for people to go around and to have that feeling and to ask for help when they've lost their child, when it comes to certain things in this world. But when it comes to the corruption of these for-profit corporations coming in, and these people, these useful idiots coming in, believing they're doing good things, and somehow over the years have come to a place where they believe that it is heroic and good to come in and to take people's children, crying and screaming at the children are better off, and that they're okay with doing this. We have come to a place in humanity where people are acting insane, but calling it as though it is something that is normal. But yet parents like me, who are hurting, have nowhere to turn, are seen and villainized. And people who have retaliated, have used this wicked system, have put out lies and false allegations to make this thing happen, to cover up their own wicked deeds and to turn the focus around. And they continue to go on with their lives while they have vowed to destroy ours. And yet we're supposed to just go on. We're supposed to just keep moving, and really there's no place to speak because people don't want to hear it and they don't see. And that is a lonely place to be. So I'm trying to figure out, in this world where everything is upside down, and I'm learning that everything that I've ever learned has been a lie, down to every area of my life, trying to just figure it out. And what I'm coming to is that we all do have a voice, and we need to speak out. And truly it is fear that holds us back in so many areas of our lives. And also this conquer and divide, everyone being focused on themselves and not seeing that we all have blood, we all have pain and tears. People who are genuinely good on the inside love their children and take good care of them. There are some out there who, just like I'm speaking about right now, there are people who do terrible things, and those people have to be held accountable. And you can only do that in a true court of record, not in these kangaroo courts today. The corporate corruption and all of this multidisciplinary team working together, and all these ignorant people coming out doing these wicked things. These crimes against humanity today are something that one day our children are going to look back and say, what in the world? How did you guys do this? How would you think it is okay to do this type of thing? And that is if we ever get to a point where people stand up and speak and say no more. Because if not, there's not going to be families left. Illness and everything else is already taking over, and so many people are getting sick because the truth is being hidden about true healing because of corporate greed. And I've talked about this in other videos with the big pharma and everything else. And I don't care if people don't want to hear it. There's plenty of people speaking out about these issues. And now there's other people speaking out about their children being taken. More and more people. This is a serious, serious issue that is plaguing our nation and our world. It is the modern day human trafficking. And parents are hurting and crying, and yet we're just supposed to go on with life. I'm going to tell you, I'm not going on like this. I'm going to speak, and I'm going to do what I can because I want my children to know that I care. Even if they don't understand what's going on and they see things through the corrupt lenses of this world, one day people will see. Maybe each person in their own time, or if people do come together, because it's gonna get to a point where it's gonna be your family or your friend, your loved ones, either dying from a disease that has natural cures, or having their loved ones locked up in a for-profit corporate prison, or having their children taken, saying it's for the safety and protection of the children, but yet money's being exchanged between countless people, and people's children, and not only that, their elderly parents are being used as commodities, being stuck in institutions, into these foster care homes. And the whole society is being set up to embrace this. It's a problem, reaction, solution. You have infertility problems. You have people who aren't able to have children for countless reasons. There's a supply and a demand. And there are countless people making their living off of this corruption. We hear about people being arrested and indicted for this corruption, but when it comes down to it, we all have to really look at what are the facts and what are we seeing happen from this, because if all that is truly happening, then it should be trickling down to the people and the families, and countless people should be having their children returned to them, and I'm not seeing that. I'm seeing some here and there, but that's how the system works, to deceive people. So what I'm looking at, since I'm trying to seek the truth and understand this world and how it's operating and what my purpose is, is I see a lot of corruption. I've witnessed it and I've experienced it, and I know that's true. I know and I see that there are many ignorant people like I once used to be and still am in so many areas, to where you just go along with what this world is saying is right and good. And in doing so, you hurt countless people. I see children who are hurting. I see parents who are hurting. And I see so many people being silenced. As a mom, I am hurting. And I see that this world doesn't want to hear it. And so many other people. And I see that there's a need for more people to speak out and to say no more. Because we're just destroying one another. That is what is going on. So please don't come on my channel and ask, why were your children taken? We do not have a just system today. And everyone wants to go out and do witch hunts. The problem is there's corporate greed and there's for-profit corporations in place. And people use this system to retaliate. And my children and I have become victims. And I don't say that in a way as meaning I am going to lay down and take it. What I'm saying is that there's perpetrators out there who have attacked us. So I am going to be using some time to expose people who have done things in our lives, taking away the fear and just putting out the truth. And the reason for this is because the truth is the only thing that can set people free. And I'm tired of being afraid of people's reactions or what they're going to do. And I'm going to continue as I go, because one of the big things that this system uses and people use is retaliation. And I'm going to be exposing everything. The police aren't going to police themselves. The judges aren't going to judge themselves or be a tribunal for themselves, because they're not supposed to practice law from the bench. And no one's going to stop this but people coming together, truly saying no more. This is for our children. This is for our families. So I just wanted to come on here today and make a somewhat short video of where I am right now. And I am so grateful for all the people who are speaking out. I see Lady Shell 1978. I see Mrs. S on YouTube and countless others who are fighting, who are putting forth lawful documents. Because what else can we do besides tell our story and fight in truth? The corruption is deep, and it will catch up with the people who are doing these things, who are hiding behind these entities, these corporate agencies who are working under the color of law. If enough people speak out, enough people say, no, we're not going to allow this to happen anymore, for poisons to be injected into our children. You can just see around. I mean, you don't even have to look very far to see the damage and the effects of what's going on in the world. It's time to wake up. We have a short time on this earth, and things happen to us. Whatever doesn't kill us makes us stronger. If we don't use it to try to make change happen, then what is all this for? Our children are ours. They're blessings. They're from our bodies. And they're being viciously taken from, kidnapped from loving parents. And those who want to keep using the system to attack, everything comes back around. It's time to stand and to say no more, to use your voice. We can be empowered to make change happen. Let's come together. Thank you. Shalom.